Yo, God is good. For a long time, I really raged at God because I didn't understand why my life circumstances would look the way they do, not just in the sense of what I was born into. My family, as anybody knows who's watched any other video on this channel, really suffers from the emotional dysregulation that pervades our world today like a disease. Being born into that, being born into these two family lines that converged with such force is something that I had to fight my way out from underneath for the first 24 years of my life. That was not the only thing that I was angry with God about. I was angry that God would give me the gifts that He has, because these gifts made me feel all that pain more acutely. I felt the strange alienation that the poet goes through, and I felt the deep empathy and sense of insanity that the shaman goes through, and I felt the shame and resentment and anger that others project onto the superstar. It was a real struggle to face both the material circumstances that I was born into, and be this person, have this life path that God intended me to have. I didn't understand why I was so alone. I didn't understand why I was in this world, but not of this world. I didn't understand why I was doomed to a cycle of suffering that is, in its essence, no different than any other cycle of suffering that any human being is on, but in its outward manifestation was so bizarre and difficult to control. But of course, now I see that it's a gift. It is a gift that God has made me the poet. It is a gift that God has made me the shaman. It's a gift that God has made me the superstar. Those things are gifts because not only is it always a joy for any human creature to walk the spiritual path that they are meant to walk in life, no matter what it is. The path is not without pain, of course, but when you are able to find the right path for yourself, if you're lucky enough, privileged enough in this material world to be able to walk that path, it is always a joy. Not only is it a joy for me to walk these paths now, it is also joyful for me to come closer to God in understanding these gifts and fine-tuning my ability to share them with the world. I can be so hard on myself and feel so disappointed in myself when I am not expert at putting this wisdom that I fought so hard for out into the world. I can be so upset that I am imperfect, but always the joy of creation, of discovering myself, of letting flow through me the energy of God that God intended to have flow through me in this lifetime, that is always the deepest pleasure. My name is Andrew Tai, world famous poet superstar, and I will always love you. May the glory be always to God.